Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Candid Talk here on Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Evan Sokinya. I'm glad that you've joined us for these conversations this morning, be it evening, wherever you are watching us. Definitely welcome to the show. I'm joined by Professor Herman Manyora. How are you, sir?
Good.
Yes, I can see you donning these
Nigerian.
Nigerian attire.
Yes, Nigerian Labour Congress. Nigerian Labour Congress.
Nigerian Labour Congress.
Yes.
When did you go to Nigeria?
We support workers across the world.
When did you go to Nigeria?
Nigeria is African. We just keep visiting them. Nachukua matatu nafika Lagos. Yes.
So you are there
Yes.
in the Labour Congress, supporting Africans and everybody.
Yes.
Now you are there supporting Africans, but let us get back to the country right now. You can see what is happening. Sometimes I do wonder what is it that is really here, because we already tired. Today is Today is Wednesday.
Yes.
We were expecting that perhaps the conversation would begin tomorrow, that the dialogue would begin tomorrow, and that perhaps the country is actually expecting to see a clearly defined direction on how things are going to operate in this country. But here we are. The members of the Azimio side, those who are supposed to be taking part in the bipartisan talk, have now confirmed that there would be no talks. These talks have been suspended because they're saying that they've reached a stalemate, and they cannot actually.
Who is causing the suspension?
And that is what I'm
asking you. Who is?
Okay, the
If you are to blame somebody for suspending the talks, will it be Azimio or Kenya Kwanza? I want to know so that I can contribute
now
intelligently.
Okay. According to what Otinda Molo said, he said that the person who is causing this kind of stalemate is the other side, of course, Kenya Kwanza. And they're saying that there is no way this conversation can proceed with the inclusion of Aden Keynan therein. So
what option are they giving?
So far, they're saying Aden Keynan has to be taken out and be replaced by another person.
In the meantime, or in the event the other side doesn't do anything.
And that is what I'm wondering. In the event the other side does not do anything, they're not going to have those talks and they'll resume their demonstration. So that is where we are right now, and we are wondering. So in the first place, let me ask are they justified, the likes of Otiende Amolo, the Azimio side, justified to hold the country at ransom? Let me say so, when it comes to these bipartisan talks, just because of the inclusion of Aden Keynan.
Keynan ought not be in that team, at least not on the side of Kenya Kwanza. That's obvious. And Kenyans have this tendency, this bad habit and bad manners of taking too much time on non-issues, of things that you don't need to sit down to discuss. Even before they started, Keynan ought not be there. That's a small matter. But I asked you a question. Who is causing the stalling? Who is making the calls, the talks get suspended or collapse? And that, according to you, is Azimio. The next question must come naturally. In whose interest would that fall? Who will benefit? Who is going to benefit between Azimio and Kenya Kwanza if the talks are suspended for whatever reason?
Right, but I think
I will answer for you. It is Kenya Kwanza, because they are buying time.
Okay.
So it is the Otiende Omolo side that is falling into the trap. They are going into the trap, pap kama swara na shikwa. It is in the interest of Kenya Kwanza to drag this thing, to prolong it as long. So they will keep bringing things, you react to them. After a week, it is taken, because Keynan will be removed. But they are using it to drag the process.
So you're seeing these as an orchestrated kind of scheme by these to derail this conversations?
Correct.
Okay.
First of all, they went to Parliament, purporting to want to set up the committee. They knew it was not possible, but these guys quickly reacted to it and gave ultimatum. Then the guy said, oh no, we can sit down and talk about the committee. A week he was gone. Now 2 weeks gone, okay? Next, Keynan, another week. It will be gone, maybe 2 weeks. Keynan will be removed. Then they'll come up with something else. by December, these talks will not have started. And it will not be in the interest of Azimio. And I might want to add, it won't be in the interest of the country. It is in the interest of the country that these talks are done and concluded within a specified period of time. Because we are playing with danger. The sooner we get rid of this thing, the better. Because I can see Kenya Kwanza dragging these talks as Azimio falls in the trap, one after the other.
Prof, this is a conversation that we've had over time, definitely, and you've always been very firm about the position of, on the inclusion of Adan Keinan therein. Now, what option do the Azimio side really have here?
They must come up with concrete strategies. Anytime you react to somebody, they will always be ahead of you.
Okay.
Anytime you allow somebody to set the agenda, yours is to react to the agenda, they will always be ahead of you. That partly explains why Ruto was successful in the campaign. Successful not to mean the issues people are raising about the elections are invalid, but successful to mean he was able to get somewhere. Because he was ahead of these other guys. They were always reacting. So now, the same script is being replayed. And Kenya Kwanza are setting the agenda. Azimio are reacting. You know? First of all, it was, we shall not talk, you do what? Then they go down. Then you go and meet them. Then, oh, we cannot be part of what's going on in parliament. They withdraw, they come to you. Oh, Canaan. Then they will withdraw Canaan. Oh, something else. So the Azimio will be made to react. Finally, they will be made to look bad if they try to go to the streets. And that's what Kenya Kwanza is doing. Is dragging this thing, but at the same time, playing it in such a way, should Azimio go to the streets, the public will not really quite sympathize with them, at least the intelligent public. Because it will be over trivia. Can you go to the streets because Keinan is in that committee? You can't convince a serious person that's the reason enough to go to the streets. No. Nobody can believe that.
But they say they're resuming their
No, you see, there must be a reason for resuming the talks, the demos. You can't call off the war, call for ceasefire, call off the demonstrations. Then for no reason you say, let's go back to the streets. There must be a reason. Yeah.
The question that has been asked all along is that the parliamentary group, of course, the Kenya Kwanza parliamentary group that met and decided to pick these 7 members, definitely was headed by the president. Was he not aware of some of these hurdles?
But those are the tactics they are using. I'm telling you, those are the tactics to delay the talks. In the fullness of time, they remove. Not that they don't know. They have thrown it there deliberately. So as you haggle over that, time is moving. As you talk about Canaan, time is moving. Then there will be something else. And time will move. Then you resolve it. Then there will be something else. Before you know what's happening, it's December. Kenyans have gotten used to the whole thing.
You've told me that the Azimio side have an option of coming up with strategic measures on how to counter this. Now, tell me, how are they going to do it? Because already...
No, that's their work.
I'm saying the
That's not my work.
But then, what would your view be on what they're going to do? Because already
they have to figure out.
They've decided to ditch those dialogue and said they're not going to...
But I'm just telling you what it means. They are the losers. Azimio is a loser. It's in the interest of Kenya Kwanza to drag these talks. So if you do anything that drags the talk, they say hallelujah. Thank you very much.
And at the same time,
you Azimio people, you are such a darlings.
At the same time, they've said they are resuming their demonstrations on Tuesday.
But you see, the demonstrations, you don't just go for demonstrations. You must prepare the country for demonstrations. You can't just use demonstration anyhow. The public will not be with you. You have to buy the goodwill of the public.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't just say streets. You remember those demonstrations? There were 3 or so. They were highly supported by the country, by the people. Many people supported Raila because they could see why he was arguing, why he was talking about cost of living, about electoral injustice, electoral fraud. Those things were clear. But now that you have decided to talk, you can't tell the same public we are going to the streets just like that. No, you can't. The public will not buy
So you
into
cannot
it.
tell the public that they're going to the streets just like that. At the same time, these people have decided to bring in people whom they think are theirs, the likes of now Adan Kainan specifically.
But I'm telling you that's part of their strategy.
So are you therefore trying to say that
It's
perhaps
yeah.
Azimio has reached the dead end and there is
No, they have not reached the dead end. They have to think. All I'm telling Azimio is to think. They are not thinking so far. They have to think.
Make me understand this. They want Adan Kainan removed.
Yes, you want him removed.
Then the president.
But by saying he must be removed or we talk, we are falling into the trap.
So should
set
they,
for you.
Should they talk before he's removed?
No, you have to think. Please, how many times do I tell you? They have to think. It calls for thinking.
Help them think here now. What's
They should invite me to help them think. They have to think.
Help these guys now crack.
No, I cannot.
What are they supposed to do?
They have to pay me to help them think. This is the time some of us are going to be paid. They have to pay some of us to think for them. Because if you don't think, you will not go far.
Because you cannot.
You are falling in the trap of Kenya Kwanza. Canaan out 1 week. Canaan out 2 weeks. Third week, Canaan is now out. Then you start talking. Then something else comes up. But this is a template everybody should know. These are tactics used whenever there are negotiations, whenever there are stalemates, whenever there are ceasefires. You keep bringing something, and the other party keeps reacting. Then finally, the public will be made to see Kenya Kwanza as magnanimous, as ceding too much ground. Because the moment they wanted to establish a parliamentary committee, you said no. They withdrew. They ceded ground. They said the two will meet and they'll work on it, then it will come to parliament. You see, they have ceded ground. Now you are talking about Kainan. They will cede ground, they'll remove him. Then they will throw something else. Then you will haggle over it, then they will cede ground. Gradually, psychologically, the country is beginning to see one side as being magnanimous, the other side as being too much. So the side of being too much will be Azimio. And the side of Kenya Kwanza will be viewed as magnanimous, as understanding the problem more than the other side. And that's why they are being dragged.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
so they have to think. It is you think out of it. You need to think out of it.
But you're saying going back to the seats would be
It's not a very good option. First of all, as a person, I don't support those demos because I know what they mean. I know we can destroy this country. But secondly, even if you must go, because many things cannot be achieved without pressure. I know. Unless you pressurize Kenya Kwanza, you will achieve nothing. I know that. But you must be strategic about it. It's not just about, let's go to the streets. People will begin to see you as the wrong person. Are the one who doesn't understand the situation. Are the one who wants to cause chaos in the country. You must do it in such a way people can understand why you are going to the streets. But if you keep reacting to what Kenya Kwanza are saying and then feebly say we are going to the streets.
By the way, I understand that from the document released, or rather from the statement of the Register of Political Parties, she says that she does not have any document whatsoever that recognizes, or rather that would make her recognize Jubilee as an affiliate of Kenya Kwanza, or even KUP, the party that is led by the former Pokot Governor John Lonyangapuo, the party that actually David Kosing belongs to. He says that by law, as it stands right now, those are members of Azimio side. But now, here we are. Adan Kainan knows this very well. And even the president knows this very well. The Kenya Kwanza side knows this very well. Why is it that they are still insisting that they also have a problem with David Kosing? And at the same time, Adan Kainan, having known very well that he's on the other side, wouldn't be on the interests of the public, if at all it really means well for the country, to just step aside and say...
I have told you, and allow me to repeat, and I hope Azimio is listening. Putting Kainan there is deliberate. Is a delaying tactic strategy. So that you spend time on Kainan, then finally they move him, because they know he doesn't belong there. It's a strategy.
Okay.
And there will be another thing and another and another. And therefore a month and another and a week and another. And they will achieve what they want. Finally, the country will grow tired of Azimio.
Well,
that's the strategy. And you have to be careful. You have to think about it. It's not just a question of saying we shall go to the streets. Anybody can say that. But first, can you make people support your move? And are you sure the people will be psyched enough? It's not a simple matter taking people to the streets. Actually, Raila is a magnet. Very few people can achieve that feat. But it's not easy. What Raila is doing is almost a near miracle. It's not easy in the circumstances.
The Honorable Adan Kainan is aware of the kind of stuff that is brought here, and of course, I wonder whether he sits down and actually thinks about all these things. And he knows very well that he's part of the reason as to why this statement is here.
And as usual, history has shown, anytime you allow yourself to be used, you'll pay for it. He will pay for it. Somehow he will pay for it. I hope somebody shows him this video. Manyora is saying, you will pay for it. And I've said it before. He'll pay for it.
Well, let's wait and see. We do hope that a time will come when we'll have these talks and we'll see the way forward as a country, because we cannot be lagging behind. Yet we are supposed to be moving forward, and we wish the president and the Azimio leader Raila Odinga all the best. Ladies and gentlemen, remember our team is still on the ground. We are still tracking down everything that is taking place in this country, and we'll keep you up to date with everything taking place in the country. For any updates on anything, please kindly visit our site at Nairobi Review. That is Prof?
Yes.
Yes, of course. Review, yes. For news that is written there, and of course opinion articles done by Prof here and other like-minded writers therein. Till we have this conversation again, have yourself a lovely day. My name is Evans Okinyi.